Hi everyone, it's Rednecks Live here. So today is November the 1st down in Australia, and I'm so excited for City Living, but we don't actually get our hands on it until November the 3rd, which seems a little bit unfair, but whatever. I've been looking forward to this EP for so long that I couldn't wait any longer, and I decided to jump into Kaz and start making the sim that I'm going to play when I finally get to load up San Myshuno in the new expansion pack. So as soon as I heard that City Living would be shipping with a social media career, I knew I wanted to make a very specific sim to play it. And I was actually working on a custom career for the game, which is probably very similar, except I called it Social Influencer. And it'll be really interesting to see where my career is similar and where it's different to what EA did. I feel like my career that I was working on had more of like a fashion slant, because I work with social influencers and a lot of them are in the fashion industry, and it seems like maybe the EA one is slanted more towards like gaming and kind of like geek culture, which is fine. I'll have a great time playing that anyway, but maybe if it's too different, I'll go ahead and continue making my custom career. We'll see. So this sim's looks are really heavily inspired by Sarah Allen, who's an Australian social influencer, and if you're in the UK, you might recognise her from being on Neighbours as Madison recently. Madison Robinson, the daughter of Charlene, famously played by Kylie. So that was really cool seeing her on TV. I was like, oh my god! I also think maybe there's a little bit of Billie Piper mixed in, because I love Billie Piper, and I guess her and Sarah kind of have a similar kind of look. I don't know, I guess Billie Piper's old now though. I'm such a 90s kid, like, I don't know if Billie Piper still looks the same. I knew that I really wanted like this kind of like very on-trend 90s throwback, fast fashion kind of aesthetic for her. So she's got like the nose ring, and all her clothing is very kind of like fast fashion, high street inspired outfits. And I knew I wanted a really like chic platinum bob. And in the perfect world, it would kind of look more like the way Fergie has her hair at the moment, which is kind of like dark roots and really messy and kind of like big, but bob. I don't know. That sounds really weird, but that's kind of what I was going for. And I think like this hair kind of does it. It's definitely a recolor. I don't know if the mesh is the same one that shipped with Backyard Stuff, or whether the mesh has been like altered a little bit. But yeah, I love the hair that I ended up using with this kind of like very like bright platinum tips, and kind of like beachy kind of vibe. I love it. So I named this sim Elle Heart, and I knew I wanted Elle to be a fashion-y kind of social influencer, so that's kind of why she's got this like high street kind of aesthetic. I knew I wanted her to have ink, but I didn't want it to be like gaudy or colored or big, like no sleeves, no like tramp stamps or like big chest pieces. I wanted something kind of like simple and just like line art, which is really like common these days amongst these kind of like social influencer girls that you see on Instagram. And I ended up finding one which was perfect because it was a heart, and I'd already decided at this point I was going to give her the name Elle Heart, even though I spell it H-A-R-T, like Roxy Hart, but it ended up being beautiful. I was like, yes! So that was a win. And yeah, the nose ring, the tat, the bob, I was really happy with the way that all came together, with her kind of like wide set eyes, beautiful cheekbones, full lips. And then I moved on to clothing, and that was a little more difficult, I guess. Some of the stuffs that shipped with EA is a bit like, whoa. And so I had to find like a whole lot of custom content and put that in the game, but once I had that, it was really easy to kind of like nail down her look. I really like that black top that she's got on right now, because it has a heart cut out on the back, and that's kind of like just cute because it continues that theme where she's obviously like inspired by her name a little bit, or maybe her like heritage and surname's important to her, which is cool. I love this skirt. I think I end up going back to it, maybe in like a red tartan. It's just so cool with the buckle. I wish it was maybe a little bit longer, because I don't think Elle's like particularly into like dressing in very revealing ways or anything like that. But like when you have a skirt that cool and when the mesh is that good, you have to use it in game. So whatevs, I did. She's also got like black nails. I wanted to give her like all these cute little bags that I downloaded, but then I couldn't have the nails and the bag at the same time, and I got so used to putting these custom fingernails, like custom nail polish on Sims, that when it's not there, I find it really like jarring. I'm like, what is wrong with her fingers? Why does she not have fingernails? So I ended up not using any of the bags, which was kind of sad, because they're so cute. And you can see like I go back and forth a few times. I'm like, oh, maybe it'll work, and then every time I see the fingernail-less fingers, I'm like, ooh, no, it doesn't work at all. So Elle Hart is gonna live in a kind of like shoddy rundown apartment with her twin brother, who I named Bo, and then I realized Elle and Bo together is Elbow, which is a bit like, what parents would do that to their twin children? But I did. That's why I'm not a parent. Elle is obviously going to have a crack at the social media career, and I figured Bo might open his own little cafe, like a hole-in-the-wall, pigeonhole-sized cafe somewhere in the city, that's kind of got like a hipster vibe. You'll see when I do Let's Plays based on this household, Bo's kind of a bit of a hipster, and they are going to try and make it big in the city, which I guess is what everyone's going to be doing with the game when it comes out. That's definitely what the guys at EA really pushed for, with the whole work your way up from the entry-level apartment and work your way up to a penthouse. So yeah, I like that Bo's going to have a cafe, because I still haven't played a restaurant, even though Dine Out came out ages ago. I've just been visiting the restaurants rather than running them, so that'll be Bo's little thing. I believe social media is not an active career, so I wanted a sim that I would have something to do with while Elle was off at work, because like if you have a single sim household and they go to work 5 days a week, it becomes a really boring game really fast. Oh, how cute are those shoes, by the way? I think they're like Gucci with pearls on them. Oh my god, I love them. I found this thing for shoes. The custom content that you can get for footwear now is so amazing. Like even those, like, I think they're Palladium boots. They look so detailed. It's incredible. I toyed with the idea of giving her like permanent glasses, like reading glasses, and kind of decided against that. I think a couple of her outfits have sunglasses, but I just think her eyes are so cool. I love her strong eyebrows, like this whole strong, all that, like, I don't know, energy that comes from her eyes and her strong brow. I kind of didn't want to cover that up, so I ended up, yeah, not going with glasses in the end. Well, I love a nerdy girl. I love a nerdy anybody, so I was kind of like torn a bit. And the makeup, I ended up using these like Lip Jenna inspired lips. They're a really cool matte palette, and the creator who made them kind of really exaggerated the lips, like the Cupid's bow, and made them very like Jenna-esque, which I guess once I started using those lips with one outfit, I think I went back and I used them for all the outfits, just in different colors, so that she would have uniformity in her lip shape. I get like really anal retentive about that kind of stuff. Like, I don't want her looking too different from one outfit to the next, even though she should still be recognizably her, but I'm just a weirdo. Yeah, and her makeup was either really all about the eyes or all about the lips. I didn't do too much where she had like heavy eyes and like the Jenna lips. So she'll either have like big lips and very minimal eye makeup, or the other way around. And I kind of struggled with the hair. I knew that for her more formal looks, it would be like very wet, slicked back, but I didn't have any hairs that matched the same tones as her bob, which I was kind of like going back and forth on a little bit, because again, that uniformity issue that I have, I really wanted everything to match from outfit to outfit. In the end, the slick back look won out, but I didn't use it for very many outfits. I don't know, maybe I can just imagine that when it's gelled down it's darker, which I guess is kind of true. Obviously, like, everything stays the same length. She's not going to be putting in extensions or anything like that, because she's way too like laid back and casual cool for, you know, messing around with that kind of stuff. The only kind of thing I haven't thought about for this expansion pack is who I'm going to have that will be kind of like the karaoke star, or the sim that will allow me to explore the singing skill. I kind of am toying with the idea of making like a girl group, and I was originally going to go with 5 sims living in a house that would all be like in this girl group, kind of like the Spice Girls, or one of those girl groups from X Factor that are like big now. They are not the Spice Girls, but anyway. But then I realized the karaoke machine only allows groups of 2, and if I had 5, I'd have 2 groups of 2 and then someone singing on their own, and that seemed really weird. So maybe I'll do a house with a girl group with just 4 sims in it. I'm sure people are going to mod that karaoke machine so that it's also just like a single microphone that can be used by 1 or 2, or at least a much like smaller mesh that won't look out of place in, say, a recording studio or something like that. And I think once that happens, maybe then I'll try the karaoke career, because I'm not really interested in like going out to karaoke venues. I think I want my sims to kind of explore it in a more professional setting. So yeah, girl group. And yeah, this dress is amazing. I love a power shoulder. Shoulder pads need to come back in style really soon, because they're awesome. They just create such a striking silhouette. So I did that dress, and I wanted like big chandelier earrings for that as well, and I think I ended up choosing earrings. Oh no, those ones. I have a pair of earrings that are literally like chandeliers. I think maybe they're a bit too gaudy, but I like the idea of them, but I don't think I've ever used them. And at one point, I actually go back and I give her a whole lot of hats as well. I think that's what I'm doing now, because I really, you know, if she's not going to change up her hairstyle very often, then maybe like a hat or a beanie will kind of like add that kind of like change. And those lack of color brimmed hats seem to be like all the rage right now. So I gave her a couple of like wide brim hats, because she's got her finger on the pulse in the fashion world for sure. And yeah, her casual like active wear, it's kind of very like yoga, like she's not going to be killing herself in the gym. She's more about like lean muscle, and you know, she's not going to run a marathon, that's for sure. But she like, you know, she still likes to look cute while she's working out. That's cool. Wow, I did a few active wear looks. Cool. I guess I like variety in the game. I usually give all my sims at least 3 or 4 outfits for each category, just so it's always cycling through every time they have a shower, or every time I see them out. If I'm not playing them, they're not always wearing the same clothes, because that's another thing that bugs me. Because I like this kind of like element of realism in the game. Like, I don't like my sims to like change hair color or hairstyle with every outfit, and I don't like to see them in the same outfit every time. I don't know if that makes me weird, but I just like that continuality. What's the word? Continuousness. Yeah, that. I like that in the game. I love this donut raglan tee as well. It looks like Odd Future or something. There's like a donut jumper, Sloppy Joe, or hoodie as well. And yeah, now I'm probably going to do an underwear. Yeah, I always do like pajamas and underwear for the underwear or the nighttime category. Just so, again, there's that variety. There's what you wear to bed and not necessarily what you'd wear under your clothes. And I think for the underwear I've gone with something very neutral, because I imagine that she would be like very basic with her, you know, cute but basic. So yeah, what else? Party wear! Yeah, this is always a fun category to do, because you can be a little more outrageous, I guess. I always treat this category as like what you would wear like clubbing, or what you would wear out on the town, as opposed to your formal wear and your like day wear. So I always have a lot of fun. Actually, something that I've done, I don't know if anyone else does this, but again, because I have this like OCD tendency, and I don't use the term OCD lightly, but I do definitely have leanings towards OCD. I actually went through my entire custom content folder, thousands and thousands and thousands of pieces, and recategorized everything. So like, if I considered something a formal dress, it was not in like party, and it was not in everyday. And like, forget it if people map that stuff to like swimwear and pajamas. I hate that. So I had to go through everything and like recategorize it using the Sims 4 Studio because it gets really under my skin. This is like, tell me if this is TMI. I'm like oversharing right now. I'm getting to know rednecks. That jacket that she's wearing, this like purple fur, is kind of, it's an accessory, so you can wear it over the tops, which I also really like for consistency, because then if I want her in the same outfit without the jacket, I can actually do that rather than completely changing from an outfit with a jacket to an outfit without a jacket. I love this white dress with the mesh overlay. I think mesh is going to become something that you see more and more of in terms of fashion. It's definitely kind of like filtering through to like your fast fashion high street stores. And yeah, another thing that I think is going to come in really strong is that monochromatic dressing, where you're wearing the same color maybe in different tones or different hues, but like it's all white or it's all beige or all black. Well, actually all black's always been a thing, but you know. Yeah, I love this fur bomber as well. Bombers are so cool. And I knew I wanted an outfit where she had like leather skinny pants, because like, who doesn't want to go clubbing in leather pants? Like, it's something everyone has to do once. I love the skirt. That skirt is so impractical, but something that would totally be worn by this girl. Her like fashion character, like you can imagine her taking so many selfies and, you know, blogging and Instagramming about that skirt because it's just so cool and it's such a one-off kind of piece. And the other thing that she does quite a lot is wear chokers, which I love. Like, it's one of my favorite kind of like trends to be revived from the 90s. I don't know if I mentioned chokers in my last Kaz video, and if I did, I probably sound like a freak, but I just think they're so cool. So, and the Sims all have such long necks, so why not utilize that? Give them these amazing chokers. So I think almost every outfit has a choker. I'm like, whatevs. I kind of like swimwear the least as a category, maybe because it has the least variety, but I don't really spend a lot of time on this category, and I rarely do more than one look for it. And I just have fun with it. I think I went, yeah, with the alien print that's kind of 90s throwback, and then the yin yang choker, because like, why not? And yeah, one of the few outfits that has sunnies, because obviously if you're lounging by the pool, you need to worry about protecting your eyes from that harsh UV, well, at least in Australia, we have really harsh UV rays and everything. So yeah, I usually choose a walk for my Sims, although I think with hers I went with the standard one, and I always take time to choose their voice as well, because I have such a strong idea in my mind of who these Sims are, so I like to get all those little details like perfect. And her personality is obviously like creative, and she's very like self-assured, which I think you have to be if you're going to be a social influencer and be kind of adventurous with fashion. These pants I've had in the game for a really long time as well. They're like purple tartan crop pants. I really love, but I don't really use them as much because I never know what to style them with. And I don't know if the outfit that I end up using them with is all that successful, but I don't know, they're cool pants. And again, the tartan theme kind of came through, so I don't know, I imagine that maybe she's like got Scottish heritage. She's wearing a lot of tartan, a lot of plaids. Plaid, I don't know how you pronounce that. I just call it checks. Like checkered. But yeah, tartan, strong.